All right, welcome everybody to Ladies Night Live. So hopefully everybody is having a wonderful Thursday. We got Terminator and Yoda in the house. There we go. So, how's everybody doing? Terminator, how's your day been going?
Really good. Actually, my little Terminator, she's in training, and I actually took her around the yard, let her run around the yard, and yeah, she does have a lot of energy, and she loves speed, and she actually went around. I let her go. I ignored her. I wanted to see if she would come back to me, and all I did was call her name once, and she was back at my feet. Yeah. No problem. Then I took her. Then the next step was I took her down by the livestock, the rabbits in the cages, and down where the chickens come out. She wanted to try to go around the rabbit cages, and as soon as she,
here's the wing.
Thank you. As soon as she turned around and took focus on the rabbits, I snapped her right out of it. Within seconds, I snapped her, and as soon as I got her attention, she forgot what she was thinking. And while I went inside the barn and fed the animals and the chicken coop and everything, she ran in circles, diving through the snow. And every time she saw a big high mound, she jumped up on top, looked all around and watched and waited for me to come out. And then she came back, did a few laps around the cabin and around all my trails where I've been. And then she came right back, and then she came right to the door and wanted in. So now I know she's learning where her perimeter is, and that's what I'm training her for. Good. And she comes back on command, so she's doing really good.
Good. That's awesome.
So I was really happy with her. So I brought her in, made her sit, because she's not allowed to sit on. If she wants a treat, she has to sit. She's not allowed to jump or anything. She sits and puts her paw on my lap, one paw. That's it. And now it's repetition. And everything I work with her is repetition, and she listens like there's no tomorrow. Until my son shows up tonight to stop and drop off something for my husband. And when she sees my son, she just goes totally ballistics. Oh. So what he does is he gives her a bear hug, kneels down, gives her a bear hug, and calms her right down, and she sits. He tells her to sit, she sits, and then he'll pet her. But if she starts to get the excitement, then he holds her and gives her a bear hug, and he just tells her to calm down, sit and stay, and then she calms right down. So she really, really listens well, which is nice.
You should get a video of her diving in the snow and all. That would be so cute.
I will tomorrow. I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to take her in a new area where we go walking in the bush, and I'm going to video her running through the deep snow.
I love watching dogs.
It's hilarious. It's and every time she sees this big, huge mound of snow, she dives and jumps up on top, and she sits and she looks all around, and then she sits and looks at me, and then I'll just keep walking and ignoring, and she realizes, oh, it's time, I'm free, I can go, and she just flies. You know, when they're a puppy and they get excited and they're chasing you and running back and forth. Well, I think she could do that for hours and hours and hours if you let her.
Yeah.
And another picture I'm going to get is the kittens that are outside that are wild. The one, she's used to my son's dog, and she comes out of her hole because they sleep under my cabin. And I put food out for them, and her and the dog were eating out of the dish together.
Oh, good.
Except then she met up with the male kitten, River, and he gave her a good swat on the nose, and she just sat and watched him. And then he ate, and then he went over by her and brushed along her. He doesn't mind dogs, but it's at his term.
Okay, yeah.
But that was my day today.
Lynn's asking a loaded question.
I know.
Well, we just had to tell him we're getting ready to go live. Stop.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody in the chat. I know we had a bunch of people jump in. Ground Fog, Tambra, Skanes, Battlefield, Starla, and Stacy. Hi.
Yeah, good to see everybody in here.
Baker's Acres. I like that.
That's a new one. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Lynn, hey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Yoda, now it's your turn.
Okay.
Me and my big mouth?
No.
You're fine.
No, you're good. And so my day's going pretty good. And now that everybody's figuring out that I was pretty stoned yesterday. I had my procedure and that kind of thing. Dang, I couldn't even remember talking to Starla yesterday. Skeins, man, she kept me on the phone for a long time last night. I do remember that. Probably couldn't go along with the whole conversation and repeat it to you because I have no clue. Whatever they gave me, it was like good stuff. But I'm glad he didn't give me a prescription because that, you never know what's going on day to day. But feeling pretty good. Definitely not as painful as what I was in. But I have to be careful. And somebody said it best. I think it was Starla said it best that, girl, you need to remember, or maybe it was Tracy. I don't know, guys. My head is still coming together. But it was one of those things, remember the difference, you're still injured. It's just you're not in as much pain as what you were. And so, I got to remember to balance that stuff out. Skane's pretty good about staying on me about that. And we have a lot in the community that are doing the same. And so,
good.
Yeah, so that's been good. And I did go out. Oh, well. Oh, and here's the other thing. And so like Starla is like, hey, girl, it's time to start thinking about the garden. And, here's what season is like, hey, G just put a plan together. Let me get this over to you. And, the list had just started because that's where we're at, right, this month. And so I sent that over. She's like, that's not very much because it's for the food forest. And so she's coming up with a bunch of ideas and stuff for us to put in there, which, we can plant food forest anywhere. And the garden, we can do as much as we want. And Chris, we can barter with him and get him over. He'll throw that tractor on there and have that plowed out in one day. So doesn't take very long to get that done. So G's got to just remove some trees for the food forest. And we've got a plan for that. We're going to hire one of the homeschool kids to come over. And I think he said like one Saturday a month or something like that. He still has to talk to Killian and see if that's going to work. And if it works out and he's interested, then G will have him out here to help him get those trees removed and that kind of thing, get stuff in.
Oh,
and
that's nice. That's good.
Yeah. And you know how kids are, you just say, you don't have to pay them $20-$30 an hour. You just say, hey, if I pay you $5 an hour, you want to come help me? And they're like, yeah. And so we should be good there, and that'll be well worth it. If we just got to start getting stuff in the ground. We got to get the cover crops and that kind of thing, get all that figured out. We're too far behind in that, and now we're seeing the severity of it. I just hate going to the store and not being able to find what I want and doing all that. My mom and dad called, and they were just looking for creamer. Well, how'd she put it? They went to a couple places because she was feeling like having a soft serve ice cream or something. So they went through Dairy Queen and then went through McDonald's and that kind of thing. They couldn't do it. They didn't have any of the supplies to get it done. So she was like, well, let's go get cream. And so they, I don't even remember where she said they usually sell them in a 3-pack and that kind of thing. They went to go get that. And there was none. And so they couldn't do that. So she's like, well, just take me through and I'll get a latte with, extra foam on it to get my cream. That was even enough. And so,
get a pup cup from a
Yeah. And, my dad drinks a lot of coffee. And so they were even talking about prices of coffee. They're like $14 a can for the brand that they drink. And, my dad, he doesn't drink expensive coffee. And so it's probably Folgers or something like that. And they made a comment at that, went to the store. They were at the store today. Apparently they found it on sale for $7.49 a can, something like that. And so they loaded up and got more for their supply. And because she asked me, she's like, have you bought coffee lately? And I was like, no. And she's like, oh, wow. She goes, it's expensive. And I said, yeah. So you remember, 8 years ago, they told you coffee was going to go up. And that's why we filled 5-gallon buckets of it and, put it back. And I told her, and now my favorite coffee is the Holler Roast. Nicole over at Living Free in Tennessee You guys look her up. She's a good cat. And so she does her own beans and that kind of thing and roasts them. And I really love her dark coffee. So I see her now. It's probably going to be, I don't know. Well, no, I probably still will see her about 2 to 3 times a year. And I can usually barter out something. You know, she usually wants something that I have. And then she obviously has something that I want. So we usually barter out and I get my coffee from her. And I can get the whole beans, so they store better and all that. But Lucy, I have to tell you this today. Oh my gosh. All right. So I heard before you were talking about all the snowbirds and the Canada coming down here. And then now they're all heading back up there, the news story and all that. You can go into that. But it reminded me, I told you, is that I'm going to give Terminator so much crap. And so when I was going through, I needed to go get something. I have to go to Asian market for that because G wants something for a potluck they're getting ready to do. And I needed certain wrappers. And so I needed to go there to get it. And all of a sudden I get behind this car. I couldn't figure out what's going on with the traffic and all of that. Like it was going slow. And then it was building up and blocking traffic. Like trucks couldn't get anywhere. Cars couldn't get anywhere. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm coming up on my light where I have to turn left. So I go to get on 21st Street. And like, damn, I got behind that car, you know, because I couldn't see which one it was exactly, just the color. And I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? And it hit me. So I looked down at the license plate because the car looked really clean. So I'm thinking like this is some kind of city person and that kind of thing, just twiddling and doing whatever, right? I look at it. Guess where the license plate was from, Lucy?
Ontario?
No, it said Nuevo something Leon. And I was like,
Quebec.
That's a Canadian plate. And I was like, oh my God. And so you should see me. I'm like behind the steering wheel and I'm like 40 miles an hour, not 40 kilometers, 40 miles an hour. And I was like screaming, you know, doing everything except for flipping the bird. And man, it took me a long time to get around that car just so that I could get out of there. I mean, like you're literally on some of the busiest streets in downtown and you're doing 20 miles an hour. And it's like you're going to cause an accident.
I deal with that every winter. Snowbirds, not even just from Canada, just from up north, people. When they come down to Florida, we're all like, oh, great, the Northerners are down.
I was dying. I'm like, oh, gosh. So then I remember in Lucy's story, right, where she's supposed to be doing 70 miles an hour, but instead is doing 70 kilometers. And I'm like, that would have been, it was already dangerous at 40 miles an hour and them doing 40 kilometers. But man, I could not imagine you doing that on a highway.
Where I was doing it from is from Michigan. You know where Michigan and Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie meet?
No.
Up the northern part of Michigan.
Okay.
If you look on a map, where the border is from Sault Ste. Marie and Michigan, that's where I went over the border, over the bridge and into Michigan, and we were going to Quayton Casino with my uncle and the elderly lady that they had won a Keno $50,000 ticket, and they had to go and cash it. It was either the big city of Toronto, which I don't drive in. I said, well, we'll go to the Sault Ste. Marie one. It's northerner and it's not as busy. Well, me not being in the city driving, I was going down a one-way street and I had a transport coming at me. It took the sidewalk.
Dang. So I'm seeing that.
I didn't even know I was on a one-way street.
I'm seeing the chat to the side, you know, they're talking about, and you were talking tariffs and that kind of thing. The tariff went through on Colombia. And so somebody said, isn't that where the coffee is grown? And then somebody else said, isn't, you know, that feeds the cartels and that kind of thing. The cartels, they're doing everything. And so they're from everywhere, all the way down to Venezuela. But Venezuela, all of South America grows beans. You can get them from Brazil, Venezuela, all of that. So it's just going to depend on what's going on. But believe me, anybody that has a responsible business is not ordering from there. They're looking at other responsible companies to get their beans from and farmers. So this is why it's important to study what companies that you're working with, right? Because that's what the tariff is about. And the tariff is about making sure that they're being responsible and they're not taking advantage of people. So we need to keep all that stuff in mind. That no fear. Hey, always go over to Hollow Roast to get your coffee. So
Well, see this one here. This is called the Muskoka Roastery Coffee Company.
Okay.
And my niece works there. So I've got about 20. These are about $20 to $24 a bag.
Yeah.
And I've got about 15, 20 of them put away.
And that are those,
she gets them
whole
free.
Beans? Those are whole beans or
No.
ground?
No, they're ground.
They're ground. Oh yeah. Okay. So it won't last long, but whole beans will last a little bit longer. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's just good this is why you build your community and meet people and, do all that. Then you can barter back and forth. Oh yeah. Tamara says coffee prices are going to go up. They're already up. And so at some point, somebody's going to have to be responsible and say, well, it depends, right? So you may have a company that just says, you know what, these people are already so addicted to my coffee that I don't have to change anything. I'm just going to go ahead and charge $20. And then you have other people that say, you know what, I'm not going to take advantage of that. I think what I need to do is I need to look and see, where am I sourcing my beans from? How am I roasting them? What am I doing? And how can I help the people? So, but yeah, Folgers, I'm not sure where they get their beans from. I know there's a Folgers factory in Kansas City proper. Used to be. I think they're still open. But not sure where their beans come from. But yeah,
I wonder where Tim Hortons, we have Tim Hortons here, where everybody goes through the drive-through and buys Tim Hortons coffee. I don't know what type if Tim Hortons is in the States or not, but here in Canada. So I can imagine what their coffee prices are going to go up. For a cup of coffee, it's almost $3, depending on what size.
Well, that's cheap, because even if you turn that to American dollars, that's what, $4.50, $5? That's cheap.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is very cheap.
Yeah, people are
for a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Oh, we got Starbucks. I tried it once. My niece got me to try it. They were talking about how good the coffee was and everything, and we were down south. We were going on one of our rodeo trips, me and my granddaughters. To stop here, they wanted to get a latte or whatever those things are, and they brought me a coffee. You know what? I took one mouthful of it. I spit it out the driver's window, and I tossed the cup in the parking lot. I was so mad. It was so disgusting.
So the
most disgusting coffee I ever tasted.
So you dumped a $20 coffee is what you did. But yeah, so
not worth $20 for me.
All American says Starbucks their coffee's like drugs.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Their tea is too, and so I'm glad that we don't have a Starbucks close to us, because
I do like their green tea and their Mint Majesty though.
They even have that one. Is it passion fruit? I think is what it is. Tea. I love that stuff. And so yeah, so I don't I just stay away from it. I'm not going to pay. Well then, gosh, that was years and years ago. Shoot. 10 years ago, and it was $8 for a glass of tea, and I'm not talking a 32 ounce. It was 12, 16 maybe. But
wow.
No, and it's not enough tea for me. But
I know I like when I get a gift card, I'll get either one of the passion fruit drink or the pink drink.
Yeah. The dogs are all happy. I changed their diet, and so I've been cooking for them. And kind of figured out how to do it cost effective and that kind of thing. So,
do you make your own dog food?
I am now, yeah. Dolly, if I don't, Dolly's gonna die. And so I changed it to kind of see what was going on. She's got an allergy to the food, and I think it's because we're not spending $150 for a 35-pound bag of dog food. And so I'm like, we need to figure something out. And I always hear Skeens talking about, making dog food and doing all that. So, you know what? I'm just going to put, I hear vets talking all the time, let's, switch over to the rice and chicken diet and do that. And so I've been doing that. This is the third night. And I was telling Skeens about it, that my concern was she started losing fur, and it was getting not just coarse, but dry. and getting very thin and that kind of thing. And since I've been down, you know, she kind of snuggles a little bit more. So I've really noticed the difference in what's going on. And so tonight was the third night. And I pet her a little bit this morning and felt her head, because even the fur on her head was getting coarse and starting to feel dry and that kind of thing. And when I felt that this morning, it was starting to get soft again. And I'm like, all right, that's it. We're doing it. So I told you, I said, I'm going to town. I'm getting everything together. And, you know, of course, you know how he is. That's a big commitment and that kind of thing. And and then he kind of laid off on that. And then tonight I was cooking dinner for them and not for him. So he's like, couldn't you just take a day and do that in bulk and then put it in? I said, yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that. And, you know, just do a prep day for the dogs, you know, for what they need through the week or whatever. And that way I can get his dinner taken care of and that kind of, we had plenty of leftovers. He didn't starve. And in fact, I was doing the pork loin chops tonight is what the dogs got. And I thought, oh, it looks like I'm going to have an extra one, but it was about an extra 1.5. And he said, oh, it looks like I'm going to have an extra one. Okay, so I'll go ahead and weigh out and measure and then figure out what I need to have and what I'm going to do to put in the bag. And when G said that, he's like, oh, is that dinner? And I'm like, the dog's dinner. And he got this look on his face and he's like, well, is there anything left? And he looks in the pan and goes, well, those dogs are eating better than me. And I looked at him. I said, there's 1.5 pork chops left. Do you want it? And he's like, yes. So I was like, okay. So, but because I had some fermented veggies and that kind of thing in the crisper. And so I put that in there, warmed those up. Dolly doesn't like it. No fermentation for her. Freya just didn't care. I don't even think she came up for air. The only thing she didn't eat was asparagus. And then Fancy Pants, she's like, okay, well, I appreciate this, but I see kibble down in the end of my bowl. And so Fancy just started pushing all of the veggies and stuff out of the way to get to the kibble after she ate the rice and the meat. Like, we had veggies strung out all over everybody's bowls. And but yeah, so it was funny.
That is funny.
Yeah. So we were just laughing. Oh, and then I gotta show you this. I know they won't mind. My son sends me a picture. My grandson got a haircut today. And yeah.
Did he cry?
No, he was good. But let's see if y'all can see that. Can you, if I go there? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Has he got a cowlick?
He probably will when it grows a little bit more. He probably will. And I'll tell you why. This looks exactly like my son. And so I made the comment. I showed Garrett and I was like, holy hell. And we're like, oh, he's got a mini me. And so I told him, I said, we're laughing. I said, you now have your own mini me. And he says, I'm assembling allies. Panda is distraught. My daughter was like, what is happening here? Like, so my granddaughter, their daughter, looks exactly like me. And then their son, our grandson, looks exactly like G and Ian. And so, you know, there's like just nothing left. So, and I get it. I totally get it. Because everybody wants their children to look like them or some member of their family. So I totally get it. I know why she's distraught, but this is why I need more grandchildren. Just keep producing them. And at some point, you're likely to have one that looks like you. Right? That's my thinking. So.
No, it's good thinking. I'm trying to find a picture.
That is actually
it's not in here.
Me and my mom. I showed my cousin a picture of my mom at the age I was then. Yeah. And hey, Ashton. And
Ashton, is your homework done? It's not. Shame.
I don't know, but I've been getting on to him. But anyways, so and my cousin, I was like, "Who is this?" And she was like, "That's you." And I'm like, "No, that's my mom." Mm-hmm. And me and my mom look exact. Oh, you're at work? I hope you're on break, son.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
Nah.
my daughter, that's a school teacher. Her and I, with my grade, did have a picture, but I lost it in the fire. It's the only picture I had of me when I was small. I was in grade 1, and I had her kindergarten picture. And every time they saw the pictures together, they couldn't tell us apart.
Yeah. So I have to laugh. My dad will go through pictures of my mom, and I've done it too. And I'm like, when did I look like that? I don't remember that outfit. And it'll be my mom and not me. But yeah, that's what I told our son. I said, well, I said, isn't that great? I said, now you know, I said, eventually both of you are going to end up looking like your dad. So I just left it at that. But yeah, no, they're funny. But yeah, so that's what we got going on here and what's been happening. What are you doing, little Miss Prepper?
So not much. All American had something important today, but that he did. Not want to say too much about it, but he hasn't been feeling too well, and so that's what today was. But other than that, like, not much. I've been actually trying to do some more deep cleaning in our little place. I know it's small, but man, it got dirty quick.
It does. I don't think it matters what size house you have, especially if you're using a wood burning stove. It gets dirty fast. The winter just sucks. So,
and also with the dogs right outside here, they don't let us grow grass right around the area.
Oh, so you're pulling in mud.
Well, right now it's so much dirt, and then when they're doing laps, they're getting all that dust going, and I want the door open for a little bit for some natural light and some fresh air and all like that. And I wiped off a shelf, and it's like, ugh,
dusty. Hey, so I found something I was talking about. I can't remember what the name of it is. I should grab it real quick. I kept seeing the commercials on it, and I'm like, man, if that thing wasn't I think they were selling for $39. Like, if that wasn't $39, I'd totally buy that. And I found them at Walmart, and it's like a squeegee. So if you have wood floors and that kind of thing, but it's like a squeegee, but it's a broom. So you can use it both ways. And it's got a dustpan. So here's what I'm saying and what I'm going to tell everybody right now. If you have a homestead, a tiny house, anything like that, farmhouse, and you have wood floors, so worth buying. And so G couldn't even believe it. So I went through and I did it twice in one day, and I was still picking crap up. And I had used the broom right before that. And we couldn't believe how much stuff it left behind. And so now we got 2 inches of rain tonight, plus that 2 feet of snow is melting and that kind of thing. And so G was coming in, and there's mud everywhere from him and the dogs and that kind of thing. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, stop, don't even touch it. Hang on just a second. And I grabbed that broom, and the mud and everything just came up, the water, the mud, all of it. And I got it right in the dustpan and dumped. So worth it. Don't get the one at Walmart for $20. Go ahead and order it online so that you get the dustpan and the mini one. And because now I'm wishing I did. And so I'm hoping I can go back and find it and order it. And G was like, if you do that, he goes, I don't care. He goes, but you have to get rid of something else. And so I know what I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to get rid of the traditional broom. Like, it's gone. This is a good product. So that's my recommendation for Thursday. But yeah, totally worth it, Ashley. Try it. You'll be amazed. And if you get the mini, so here's what I'm hoping why I want the mini, because I should be able, and so when I get on my shelves and that kind of thing, I should be able to just take that mini and and get it all out.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm hoping for. But anyway, so just
one thing that I want to redo the place in here. Especially the flooring, because it's so small. We were able to just do a big old rug and then get a little rug for later, like one of those big outdoor area rugs. I wish I would have done either laminate or different flooring where I can just easily use. And
it's a tiny house, too, laminate flooring. And
yep,
so you don't want to put hardwoods in there.
no,
Do laminate flooring because you're putting too much wear on them, right? So you'll constantly be dealing with that. I would just do, they've got waterproof laminate, and you can find them on sale, especially now we're coming up on tax season. So start looking at those sales and everything like Lowe's and Home Depot, Menards, that kind of thing. And kind of see what they have. You won't need too much. It's not costly. So you could do that, but be careful what you're doing too, because you guys are remodeling that van and going mobile, right?
yeah, I know.
So,
I want to do a little bit here, but then also I want, because also I was looking at this one insulation for the van. Because I'm watching YouTube videos on people doing their vans. And so I'm picking like a little bit here, a little bit this one, I like that, I like that. And the one insulation I've been seeing, and then also on Facebook, there's Van Outfitters. Yes. And they actually, once I watched that YouTube video, these are phones listening. Okay. So once I watched that YouTube video and just even said, I like that insulation, I want to get it. Here I get that one thing
yeah, you see it
up
all the
on
time.
my Facebook.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they didn't even say anything on that video. They just happened to be using it. And I'm like, oh, I like that insulation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're designed for. So, what you got, an Apple? You got an Apple iPhone?
No, Android.
Android, yeah. Android does it too, yeah. Yeah, they both are infamous for doing that, yeah. I think it comes from the Androids more than it does the iPhone, but, it is weird. I don't like it either. So, oh, yeah, Skane's is doing the plans for hers and all that.
Yes, vinyl plank flooring throughout. It's amazing. You can get waterproof. Yeah. It's great if you have animals and a husband. So that works great. Animals and a husband.
Yeah, because they inevitably always truck in mud and kick over the dog food bowls.
Dog food, the water's getting spilled constantly.
Yep. Water, yeah. So, but you get those floors and then get that broom that I was talking about. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. I don't spend nearly the amount of time on my floors like I used to have to. It was nothing to be down on my hands and knees scrubbing, and still I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And so, but now I feel like I am I see results. And so results are what I like.
I was actually thinking about, I showed that to my boss for work even.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Picks up the dog hair like you wouldn't believe. Like dog hair you don't even see is kind of creepy, actually. So you're like, where did that come from? I know, I just vacuumed. What the heck? And
actually at work, we first sweep the place and then we vacuum it and then mopping. So
yeah, so in between mopping, so go ahead and do that and see if it's worth it, right? And so do it in that order, but between the vacuum and the mop, use that broom that I was talking about, use that again and see what comes up. I'm telling you, you're going to be so
Amber's like, what kind of broom is it?
Hang on, I'll go grab it. It's dirty because I've been doing mud and dog food. So, well, let's see. I got it right here. So maybe if I show you the picture, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I seen that.
Yeah, and so looking for the name on it. Oh, let me put my glasses on. There's got to be a name on it for sure. Of course, the box has been burned by now.
Mm-hmm.
So, nope. Nope, there's not. So you'll just have to look for a broom that works like a squeegee. That's what I would Google, and you'll find it.
Squeegee broom.
What is it?
Squeegee broom.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's what it's called though, but it does both, and so I'm sure it'll come up. So it's got a rubber piece at the bottom of it, Skanes, yeah, and then whoop.
My goodness.
Ceiling fan up there. Oops. So it does have a rubber piece at the bottom, and it does feel like plastic on the edge, but it's a harder plastic. and then a thinner plastic in the middle. But the hard plastic and thinner plastic doesn't do anything. It's the rubber piece on the bottom. But yeah. We don't want to save that for bloopers or anything. Can we pull that out of the video? So
No, that's hilarious. I want to replay that.
That was just freaking stupid. I knew better. I was thinking like I'm on this side, but I forget how tall that is versus right because Garen put it together, so it's like way too tall for me. So I'm just thinking I got another 4 feet and I didn't. So, anyway, I didn't break anything, so I'm good. I'm just gonna leave the room where it's at.
That was hilarious.
Oh goodness. No, it's not a solid rubber piece, it's flexible. And so the whole thing is actually made so that you can wash it. So if you're doing mud and all that, you just run it under the sink. If you break an egg or whatever, you clean that up with that, run it under the sink. So very versatile. I like it anyway. So like having an extra kid, right? Miss Prepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Did it come in 3 pieces?
Yeah.
There it is.
Hang on.
Is that it?
2, 3, 4 pieces. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And the box is really weird. Okay,
It's called it's Paleo Air Broom.
Mm-hmm.
$54.
That's it. Oh no, well, you're Canadian though. It's not that in America, and so you gotta do that difference in there. So for America, for America, it's somewhere between $29.90. For America, it's somewhere between $29.99 and $39.99.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you guys. My husband's asking me to help him with his ski pants because he has trouble with his legs, with walking and stuff, and the dog's trying to help me.
Yeah.
The dog's trying to lick my face.
So Tamara found it for $34. Does that include the broom, the small hand broom, and the dustpan? Because if it does,
$54 here. Here, Linda, I'll get it.
Yeah, but for $34, I'm taking that deal all day long if I can get all 3. So when you can also
that's $20 cheaper than mine.
Well, it's not the same currency rate. So
I know.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Tambra, will you can you text me that link? I'll get that ordered tonight. Oh, it's on Amazon. Okay. And I'll look it up and see if Airbrooms a better deal, because sometimes they do that as seen on TV and there might be a better deal than Amazon. So anymore though, I doubt it. So Amazon's probably cheaper. But yeah. Yeah, you got to quit confusing people like that, Lucy, because then, you guys are
dang burn Canadians.
Yeah, the currency difference. Like I'm really glad that Canadian, I'm really glad that I wasn't behind him in a store, because then I really would have had something to say. They'd have been rejoicing that the price was cheaper. I'd be like, who the hell are you? And what are you talking about?
I would have been out in the middle of the aisle dancing.
Yeah, I know. And then getting in your car and driving 23 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. Oh, goodness. Thank you, Tambra. I appreciate that. So yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah. Skane's got that accomplished. So she's getting her nursing and stuff back together and doing all that. So thanks, Starla, for giving her a thumbs up, and congratulations on that. That's one more step closer for her getting here to Kansas. So that's a good thing. Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. So funny. Making sure it didn't hurt my ceiling fan. No.
I know that was phone. Tambra said, hello, air broom.
Yeah.
That was funny. Too bad I don't know how to do that right now, or I would go ahead and back up and play that little game.
We don't need to do that.
But it's funny.
And I'm not going to do it again. It jolted my wrist, to be honest with you. So that's why I let go of it and let it fly.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Yeah, thank God I didn't get hit in the head with it. So, yeah. But, Tamara put one on her list. Yeah, good deal. Yeah. And, yeah. Desert
So
Goat
Yoda,
Canadians, a cool group of people.
I sent Tambra a gift, and it only took 11 days, which was not bad. And yours, when I sent yours, it only took, I think it was 6 or 7 days. But I have these little tiny mini black. They're about 2 inches long by 1 inch wide. They're like a Marlar bag, but they're all black, and and I threw a whole bunch of mullein seeds inside.
Yeah.
And I snuck it in with the gift that I gave her, and she got it. I went over and she got it, and she planted the seeds, and she showed me a picture today of the mullein growing.
Oh,
it sprouted. She was so excited.
Yeah, good deal. Good deal.
This way here she can start her cycle, because I've got thousands, and I saved thousands and thousands of seeds. And I'm going to get them going again, and then next year I'll save seeds again.
Good, yeah.
But see, with them little bags, what I'm doing is I'm putting seeds, everything that I have here, I'm putting a certain amount of seeds in each one of them. I'm sealing them, and I'm putting them in my fire safe in a dark, cool place.
Good.
Then they're put away. So if anything happens to the land over time or whatever, and then we have to regenerate and we lose all that stuff, I've got the seeds from it.
Right. And you did explain to Will, so I'm not sure if the mullein does the same up there like it does for us. So Tamara, you'll want that to grow 1 year. When it seeds, you can go ahead and collect those seeds, but for medicinal, it's the second year growth.
It takes 2 years.
And so then once you grab that, the plant won't come back. So you'll need to make sure that you save those seeds and plant them where you want them and that kind of thing. Now, if you just let the seeds fall off, yes, more will keep coming back. But a lot of people don't. They'll collect the seeds and that kind of thing. And then they're like, what happened? Well, that's what happened. It got to its medicinal state, and then it said, I'm done. So, but yeah.
Okay.
So, if I disappear, it's because battery died. Okay. All right. Yeah, if I disappear, it's because we got 2 inches of rain coming in tonight. And so I'm like free. It's weird because there's still fog in the air, and it's raining. So usually that clears out the fog, but I think it's all the snow and ice on the ground that's making it happen. They actually had fog warnings when I was going into the city, and you see all those stupid people didn't have their headlights on and that kind of thing. You're just like, idiots.
Yeah.
So,
lights and turn signals are my thing.
You don't want to don't drive with my husband then, because he's good on lights, not good on turn signals.
I cannot stand. I'm even like, every time I got my son in the car, I'm like, I'm turning on my turn signals so people know. Yeah. Turning on. And then when I see something, well, I guess they don't make turn signals on that vehicle.
I go back, like, I don't know why I'm so anal about this, but I'm like, I know exactly where 100 yards is from everywhere that I want to turn, and that's when I turn my signal on. I just want to, especially since we have to get on our road from the highway, and we've got semi trucks and all that, and even though the speed limit's 70, everybody's going 75, 85, that kind of thing. And when you go to stop and you turn and there's no turning lane, that goes short really, really quick. And so I want to make sure everybody's got 100 yards to know they need to merge to the right so I can make my left-hand turn or vice versa.
Yeah. When I even going around somebody that's going slow, I'm like, droop, droop. I'm turning on my turn signal both times, even when I'm going around somebody.
Tamara, you just hung her phone off the rear view mirror so she could charge. Craziness. Distracted driving. We have good driving.
Hi, Sarla.
Look forward. No, none of us want you distracted. So only be watching us right now if you are not driving. So Philip on the turn
Turn
signal.
signal fluid. That's
I seen a
Oh, I got
video of someone doing that, and they're like, it was so hilarious watching that video. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
you
you
know.
need turn signal fluid.
There is this one video I watch every once in a while, and I just think it's hilarious. It's two. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's been on YouTube. There's an old man and an old lady driving in an old car, and the old man decides to pass this guy in a truck, and they're driving along passing, and all of a sudden the lady looks at the guy in the truck as they're passing. She looks down and there's a spare steering wheel. She picks it up and she starts like she's driving with it. And what does she do? She turns it like she's going to ram him, and the guy goes off the road.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's all in a big joke. Hey, it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, Desert Goat says that he's got it. He says it's a redneck dad joke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Hey Brian, you better not be driving. So
Oh, am I so far away? That's because I'm on my phone. I can come up as close as you want me. I'm uglier up. That's why I just stay back. I'm on my phone. That's why.
What happened to your stand that you had?
I don't have a table here in my kitchen right now. That's why.
Ah.
So I'm just holding my phone. Yeah, until I get another table. I don't really want one in here right now because when I do my renovations and everything, I have to work on my living room first, and I got to put a ceiling in and everything, and so then I have the attic part. But I have my fridges out there, and I have a white cupboard that has it's my pantry right now, and it's got all my jars. So when I take from I call it my little pantry. And when I pull from it and I get low, I go down the hallway, go shopping, and go into my bigger pantry. And then because I make a list of what I need to bring back out of there, my meat, my vegetables or whatever. And then I bring it back and fill up my pantry in the kitchen.
Hey, so I have two things here, but I don't want to miss what Tambra is saying. So hold on to that because I have a comment for that. But Lucy, you can actually get it's a ring light, and inside of the ring light, it's on its own stand, right? And so we use it. You can actually put your phone and your iPad in there. And so I use that a lot if I'm doing cooking videos and that kind of thing. And then the phone, you could do that. And then your lighting would be square and that it would hold that. You can find them. I wouldn't buy them right now. Well, actually, you might look any electronics store. So like, I don't know, what's that one we down here in America? Best Buy. So if you have something like that.
Oh, we have a Best Buy.
Yeah.
About an hour away from here, we have a Best Buy.
Okay. So no, is it? Yeah. So if you go there, especially after Christmas and all that, then you can go in and see what's on clearance. And I think I picked ours up for $30, $35, and they're regularly, well, at that time they were $100 or something like that. So just keep an eye on those. That'd be a good one for you. Then you don't have to worry about
called the ring light.
Yeah, ring.
Yeah. Not the. If you just put in ring, you're going to get the alarm system and all that.
Ring light.
Yeah.
Ring light with stand.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all in one. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. So
I don't know if this is the same one or not, but
I don't know. Show me.
I don't know.
Show me. You
Show
can
us.
always text it to me and I can look at it. But mine's on right now. When I turn it off, I can send it to you.
Well, this is the one I'm looking at, and it's on a tripod.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. Yeah. Because
they're $39.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's cheap. That's cheap.
50
and that's
inch.
Canadian. Yeah,
50
that's Canadian. Yeah. Okay.
That's Amazon.
So how tall does it go? Because my tripod is low, and I can get this thing all the way up. I think it's like over 5 feet, 6 feet, somewhere in there. So look at that, because you want to make sure, if you're sitting in a chair doing whatever, or you're out in the garden working and that kind of thing, you want to make sure that it's picking all that up.
Lucy,
Well, it's showing the pictures $39
Yeah.
on Amazon.
How tall is it?
72 inches.
That's what I'm looking. 15 inches.
No, that's
it goes
a
to
tabletop.
15 inches.
Yeah, that's a tabletop. You need the bigger one.
Okay.
Here's one. Of course, here it's in United States price, $29.99, and it goes up to 72 inches.
That's cheap. So for Lucy, it'll be a little
bit more. And it does different colors, color light.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it
does.
I
see that one.
Colors. It comes with a remote, the whole 9 yards. So
Guess how much it is here?
How much?
This is the one you're talking at. Let me see. I'll show you it. And it's got different rings, different colors.
Yeah.
And it's 72 inches.
Yep.
$40.
Buy it. That's a steal. That will help you out so much. It'll just be worth it. I'm telling you. You'll love it. You can take it to the garden. You could do all kinds of stuff with it. So.
Yeah. And right now.
Yeah, because it's got a remote and everything with it, a Wi-Fi.
Yeah. That's it.
On my end, there's a $3 coupon.
Oh yeah. So yeah, use the coupon too. Yeah, you'll love it. It really does. It makes a difference. So throw that in there. Okay, so let's go back
it's on sale.
Yeah. Oh, good. Then definitely get it, because the price is just going to go up because it won't be on sale anymore, or the product is going to disappear.
Yeah, regular $70.
Yeah. So the price has come down, but yeah. So I get the sale price right now. Yeah, because now we're after Christmas. They're trying to liquidate all their stock, so grab that.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Tambra's comment about not coming up on the live. Tambra, you don't have to show your picture up here. What you want to do when you come in, unmute, but then keep it says stop cam. And so you want the red slash to go in there. And you can just put whatever logo, or I know you got all this. And so you can put that in there. It's just going to show that you're in. We don't have to see your face, because girl, you've got a lot to teach. And
I know. I've been sending her the email.
I know she does.
Yeah. And so,
I know she does.
And I'm going to tell you right now, we have a lot of young girls in our community that watch these Ladies Night Lives, and, they're trying to figure it out. One, they want to know, how do we belong to the community? How do we grow? What do we need to do? How do we get involved? And, all of that. How do we work with livestock? All this. And then especially, how do you do it by yourself? And Tambra, you have all that information. Get your butt up here and just don't activate the camera. And then that way we can hear you and you have your input.
Everything I know about a computer, I taught myself. I just took it and just started playing around with it and investigating, and I tried it and worked on it. And
Tambra's making excuses, because Tambra, literally all you have to do is go to the link that Ashley sends you, and all you have to do is hit join. And when you join, you're automatically going to be muted. Automatically, the camera is going to be done. All you have to do is unmute the microphone, and literally it walks you through it. And that's
what I do.
Yeah, and you're right there.
And also, we're always backstage first, so if you have any questions, we can walk you through things.
Bingo. So I expect to see you, Miss Lady, on Monday night, because I think you'd be good for the WROL game too.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she'd be awesome.
Yeah, I did.
She'd be our wildcat.
Hopefully you guys won't get too overwhelmed, because she's a lot like me. I mean, we can say some stuff, and I pity the fool that comes up and says, "Send me the link, or I'm going to put porn on your channel," because Tamra will eat them alive. And so I think I handled it pretty good, considering. So, but no, Tamra won't scramble to find somebody to take care of it. Tamra will take care of it, and it'll be all verbal.
Oh yeah,
y'all gonna be just cracking up laughing. So
I don't care, Tamra. I want you on.
Yeah, it's a free speech platform, and so I don't even know why you're concerned. Like, there's no censorship in here. We don't have to worry about Facebook canceling us anymore. We don't have to worry about, all this other crap with YouTube and that kind of thing. Like it's done. Trump is in office and he ain't playing. So, yeah, I believe me, I've tested the waters because I just wanted to see, and the little things that I've done would have got us banned and put on timeout for 2 weeks, and it hasn't. So, yeah, but yeah. So I expect to see you Monday night or hear you. How about that? I expect to hear you Monday night. So,
No, you won't send it.
You won't. This is what we're trying to tell you. You won't. Things have changed. YouTube jail is not going to happen unless you're an idiot, And so as long as you're not,
the only two YouTube jail that we're going to have is us. This is our jail.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. So she's saying she's all American. The things that he can say and we have not. So you come on Monday night and we will hear you.
Yeah.
And if you get too much, I can mute you, but I probably won't.
Welcome to YouTube jail, Tambra.
We'll hold you. We'll hold you. Tie up.
Come to the light, Tambra. Come to the light. I see you, Barbara.
See these right there? That's what I do to my grandkids. I put my fingers at my eyes and then I point back at them. I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's creepy. That's creepy, Lizzie. It just is. So that's what peeping toms do. They come in there all looking.
See, I would say I hate my glasses.
No, wait, I want to tell you.
But I can't see you.
Yeah, this is a true thing. And so like we were in Virginia, we were in Burke at the time. G was stationed in Washington, DC, and all of a sudden it was just weird. I'm watching, I was watching some program and I'm crocheting and doing some stuff, and all of a sudden I hear, I see you. And I'm like, did that just come through the speaker? Right. So right over my head. And I'm like, that's weird. How are we picking up another channel? And then all of a sudden I hear, can you hear me? I said, I see you. And I was like, what the hell? And so I'm still sitting there thinking, processing, right, what is happening, because I never had it happen before. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And so then all of a sudden I hear it again. And it was like, holy shit. So I threw all the needles down and the yarn and all of that. And I ran back to our bedroom. And I told G, wake up, wake up, wake up. I said, somebody's outside the door on the front porch. And he was like, what? I go to the bathroom. And so, he's like doing that. And they're like, oh my God, there's somebody out there. You have to go catch him. Like, apparently, I don't know, he got whatever response out of me he didn't like. And so he went to another apartment and then did that. We were in condominium complexes at the time. And so then he goes to another apartment and that kind of thing. They did end up catching the guy, but he was like full on peeping Tom crap. And so luckily he didn't do, except for that was criminal. But back then it was just a slap on the wrist, right? But and who knows where he was going with it, and he may be in jail now. But yeah, he did it to several women. Peeping Tom, have you ever heard of it?
You never
a Glock?
Oh, a Glock?
Oh,
no, not at that time. No, a Glock. That's you could get that 9mm. You can get that 35. Different ones. It's a gun. It's a pistol. And no, at that time I did not. I wasn't carrying at that time. We were talking 90. That was in 93. I had given birth to Ian, and so yeah, no, that was a long time ago. No, now I take care of it myself because I know what's going to happen. He's going to go, huh? What? Look at Pete. So, now I can just scream for him. He can go pee, and I'll be chasing whatever out there, right? So depending on how I'm feeling, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, so, because you have to be mobile to be able to do that. You got to be able to do exercises, got to be able to pull the trigger and handle the gun. And so, but yeah, Tambra, she's a 45 girl. I'm a 9 mil girl. I can do 45. I can do 45 caliber. We did buy another gun. We did 40 cal. 40 caliber seems to be Northeast Kansas prime, what everybody is carrying. And so we try to make sure that we do that within the community as well, to make sure that we have versatile guns and ammo and all of that. So like if something happens to me and somebody else is over here, oh, they're like, okay, I got a 40, and they can go to our ammo when I can't do anything, and they can actually get to that 40, and they'll be able to protect me while we're trying to figure out what to do against, whatever is coming for us. So I have to talk to G about that, because, that's actually something between the community, and I actually may have to tell JD about it as well. That's not something we've ever addressed in the cards or with community education when we're talking about that, and people are asking. I don't know that we've ever specifically addressed that. Do you ever remember that, Lucy? You're like totally into our videos. Do you remember us ever addressing that in all these years?
Nope.
Neither. We need to address that. Yeah.
I think the only time you addressed something once was about that purse and where you could keep it hidden and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, the conceal and carry purse. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Because we were talking about purses.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So your mag, Bob, your mag is different, and so there's two different perspectives on mag, and G actually just did a video on that. So if you go over to Grumpy Acres Farm, you can actually watch that video, and Garen does all that. Grumpy is what they call him. But he did a video on that. I think there's a couple different ones, and I don't think it was too long ago. Lucy, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, somewhere in there. It's been the last month, I think.
Yeah.
And, So you can go over there. Him and Spags actually addressed it, how to keep a mag, form a mag, all of that. And so you can go in there and check that out. But there are different types. And when we especially when we're addressing community, it's another thing. You got your core, and then you have the community outside that. Then there's another community outside that, and then there's an even bigger community, right? So you got to break all those down. And
he did that video not that long ago, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been the last month.
It was a couple weeks ago. On a Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, you all got to remember, I've been out of it. This is the first time I've been with it. Like, seriously, you guys keep saying, "Oh, you've been better. This is the first time I've been with it since the accident. So, it's all still trying to come back to me. So, yeah, if you remember, if you think it's just a couple weeks ago, go in there and check it out. And,
I know time has been going by so quickly because both of our anniversaries are coming up here.
Yeah.
Yours and ours.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to cook for G, and then I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do it.
Because I was just talking to All American, and it's like we took a picture of our last anniversary, and it's like it felt like that was just a couple months ago.
Yeah,
not a year ago.
Bob does watch our videos, the 11 zones of home defense. He either saw it on ours or he saw it on Perma Pasture Farms. So Hacks for the Homestead, that was Grumpy, my husband, and Billy Bond from Perma Pasture Farms. We were all in the
I'm going to show you this. I don't know if I'm allowed to. But you know what this is?
That looks like, hang on a second. Not show me I want to see the front tip. Looks like a lighter.
No, it looks like a 9mm gun, but it's a pellet gun.
Oh, a pellet gun.
A BB gun, actually. BB, not pellet, BB.
I've seen those, and they're lighters actually, you know. And so then you get the dumbasses.
Yeah, lighters. No, this one shoots. This one here was the old man that had it. He was shooting squirrels with it, and he did something to it. And we got to replace the spring. It works, but the only thing is the BBs won't come up. The spring doesn't bring the spring loading, so we got to put a new spring in it. And that's what that's what I keep for my. That's what I keep just for doing squirrels and stuff.
Yeah, let me go back because I just saw Bob's comment again, and so I'm not sure. So they did do that video and that kind of thing, but no, I'm talking about getting more in depth, and so we didn't talk about core and mags and all of that stuff. So,
I don't know what the whole way things are changing, but on lives I'm not sure, still are not allowed to show any type of guns at all during a live.
Okay.
Because I know he was showing an airsoft.
It's plastic. So.
Lucy, that's an airsoft gun, yeah? And so
because he was showing an airsoft and they shut it down.
Yeah. I liked lighter better.
Yeah, actually, no, I've seen them though with the lighter. I think my grandson's got one now. He used it to light his cigarettes with.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should see some of the funny lighters that I've seen. Freaking hilarious.
Yeah, but the problem is, some of those lighters are so ridiculous. It gets people in trouble and that kind of thing. And
I know.
You're going to pull out just to light up a cigarette, and all somebody sees you doing is pulling a gun out of your pocket. And so
I know it's stupid.
Where's that going to
I like the wooden matches. I like the wooden matches.
Yeah. Yeah. Tamber, I think everybody would agree with you on that, but we'll see where that ends up going. And so maybe that platform hasn't changed yet, but I'm sure if you send letters to the White House and all of that with what they got going on, I'm sure that'll change pretty quickly. Especially with Dan Bongino and all that, because that's interesting to me. I really still think like he was targeted for that. Because if you go Langley Outdoors, Donut Operator, there's so many that we watch. We were kind of getting Tamber to go down that deep, dark, circle to come over to our side. Not that we have to, tell her to do that because she's already here. We're just sharing videos that we watch. They do lives where they're shooting and doing all that. Not only do you see the guns, but you see the ammo coming out and you see what's being destroyed in front of it.
During an actual live, or is it just a regular video?
Both. I've seen them both.
Oh, yeah, because I know. We've had
Canadian Prepper shows them.
Yeah.
done
He's a live and just showed the airsoft. Just touched it and they cut it down.
He had a troll in there that reported him for it. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
About guarantee you. And so, and that's sad. You do have libtards like that do that kind of crap. They don't want to see it. My thing is, you don't want to see it. Why are you watching the channel? Like, don't watch it.
That's right.
I know. Oh, and what Goat said earlier, it's not our anniversary yet. It's in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, mine is Saturday.
Yes.
Hey, guess what, Yoda? How many years will it be for you and Mr. G?
I don't even know why you ask me these questions. You know more than I do. So
your anniversary. How many years?
You asked me.
The reason is because my sister-in-law, February 1st, because my sister-in-law, she'll turn 90.
Okay.
On the same day.
Yeah.
On the same day as your anniversary. So now I can sing happy birthday and happy anniversary. Oh, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. You ready?
What? What are we doing?
Come on. No, it's not you. You just sit there and shut up. You just sit there and shut up. And listen. You ready?
I'm getting ready to mute you.
You ready? I'm going to go on 3, girl. Stop laughing on 3. 1, 2, 3. Stop laughing. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to Mr. G. Yoda.
Yay.
Thank you for keeping that short. That was awful.
can't stop laughing.
Because nobody does that crap down here. It's happy birthday.
Oh, we do it
not
all the
happy
time.
Anniversary. Do you do?
Actually, I have heard it at a restaurant when someone's done happy anniversary.
Really?
Yes.
I would never go back to that restaurant. That's weird.
My mom's favorite place that she likes to go for her birthday. Someone across
You know what,
the table was having an anniversary, and they did the happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary to you.
It reminds me of
my son did that to my granddaughter on her 16th birthday. We took her to this restaurant.
Yeah.
He went in behind in the kitchen and he talked to the whole staff, and they turned around and they came out with a cake, and nobody knew. And the whole staff stopped everything. All the waitresses and everybody in the restaurant sang her happy birthday when they brought the cake out.
Yeah, so I remember there was actually an ice cream parlor, and I don't know if it's still there. I bet it is, because it was really good. It's probably freaking expensive now. Farrell's. And so for our birthday, like, that was a really big deal where you wanted to have your birthday party and that kind of thing. And like they would bring out, I remember it was the volcano. I can't remember if they called it volcano tray or volcano I have no idea. I was young. And they would light it up, and like lava is coming out of the ice cream cone and that kind of thing. And then you have all this ice cream and you're like, sugar. And it was like mom and dad are like willing to let you and all of your friends that are screaming sugar eat all of that sugar. And so that reminds me of that, because they would, like, if it was your birthday, they'd come out and they're like clapping and so happy, and they sing you happy birthday. I could see them maybe doing the anniversary, but I've never seen it anywhere else. So it's kind of like, you don't go to a nice restaurant and somebody break out in happy birthday or happy anniversary. And if my husband took me somewhere on our anniversary where they broke out in song, I think it'd be a little like, I mean, unless I wanted fried chicken, right? So I don't know. But I kind of like a nice dinner. But you guys also know I'm really picky about my food, and I'm picky about my ingredients and that kind of thing. So I usually do cook for G and I. And so, you know, I've got him. I already picked up some nice mahi and some. I got him there. Gosh, dang it! I don't want to have to go to the freezer. Up north on the other side of the pond, and it might be Greenland. I can't remember, but got some nice mussels and that kind of thing from there. So. He doesn't know, but I'm going to do a really nice dinner for him on Saturday. He deserves it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, he deserves it. I've been a little broken and just kind of half-assing it. And so, no, he needs a gourmet meal, and he needs to be appreciated for everything he's done for me. And he's just carrying way too much guilt from that accident on himself, and he doesn't need to do it anymore. So I owe him a little bit. But I want some cinnamon rolls.
I second that too. When I come to Kansas, I want some cinnamon rolls too.
Yeah, I can have it. He was actually just riding my butt. He said, if you feel like it, and he said, you think you have the strength and you can roll out that dough and get all that. He said, one of the ways that you could help bring some income in while you're down is just loading a cooler up with the hot cinnamon rolls and selling them out at the reservation. And yeah, I can do that. And probably do some Mexican food for lunch and that kind of thing. And that's one of the nice things about having the reservation over here. We can do that kind of stuff. So now there's regulations to it. So anybody that's watching and you know where the reservation is, don't just come pulling your food truck up, because that ain't going to work. And there's some hoops. My husband works for the tribal government, and I've gone through my hoops, and we have all that under control. So yeah, don't just think you can just show up.
Okay, Tambra's just making this cinnamon roll like really good.
What's that?
She wants apples in hers with cream cheese ice cream on top.
Okay, so yeah, not a problem. So the apples, I actually do apple pie filling, and it's the apples from our orchard, and that's what I use in there. And,
wow!
All of my icing is the cream cheese icing, and so but. To be fair, Tambra's watched a lot of my videos as well, so she knows what I'm doing. But Yeah. Walnuts are going to have to be a special order. I have to keep those separate from everything else. So if you want walnuts in your skeins and that kind of thing, you got to let me know. Especially, and she's usually coming when I'm doing for a broad arena, right? So I'm doing all of that. I cannot just put nuts in my cinnamon rolls. You got people with nut
Yeah.
allergies and that kind of thing. So I cannot do that. If I know that it's a special order or special want and that kind of thing, I can always make that order last. And so while I have everything else protected, I can make sure I do those nuts with the nuts, and then I can set that aside in a separate area, and then wash my kitchen down really, really good after that, and go back to normal. I just need to know what you want, but can't just throw nuts on, especially Skeins. I know you know who he is. When we talk about, gosh, I'm trying to think of his nickname because I know he's not going to want to be thrown out here. I really know him well, so I really want to use his name. But Engineer Mo. And so when we're talking about Engineer Mo, you cannot have any nuts whatsoever around. He can't do it. So that's why you never get anything with nuts in it out of camp. That's why. So
I just don't like nuts in my food.
I don't really care for it either. I'm not gonna lie. I like nuts separate. And I like nuts and chocolate. Like the nuggets and that kind of. Oh no, there's not. Oh girl. Oh, you're missing out.
I just like nuts, period.
I like just nuts by themselves or with the trail mix thing. I don't like nuts in my food. I don't like chocolate covered nuts. I don't like.
Wow. I keep my thoughts to myself.
Yeah.
He said something too, so that's why
I go walking down. In August, I go walking down my into my bush or down the road down to where we go in the back part of our 100 acres, and I have wild hazelnuts, and if I got the munchies, I just go and pick some, and you got to peel them open, and I eat them. I just break them open and eat them. I don't roast them or anything, and they still taste as good.
Somebody needs to report Tamara right now. They're threatening me. Her and Skeins are coming together, and she's bringing bread pudding. And hopefully it's my Biltmore recipe bread pudding. And because I don't want you offended when I don't like yours. But yeah, if y'all been to the Biltmore, oh my gosh, their food is amazing. Don't just get the basic cafeteria crap, and you really get something that they specialize in, and it's so worth it. And the mansion's very pretty as well. So that was one of the best trips that we had with the kids. So I really like that. But yeah, but I don't know, Tamara, I'll try it, but just don't get mad if I don't. I'm not really a big sweet person either. So like, that's why it doesn't bother me to make the cinnamon rolls, because I don't sit down and eat them. I like to feed everybody else. So
that would be my hard thing about cooking sweets is I'm eating it as I'm making sweets.
No, my Cookie Monster and Sweet Monster is actually on Bible study right now. He's in the other room. So but he's the one I have to protect everything from. Me, I really don't care, except for the nuggets, like the Hershey nuggets, and I do like those. And but I can just do one and be fine. And so I don't need to sit down and eat a whole bag. I figured out, unless I'm on medication. So I looked at the bag today because I went to go grab one. Apparently, while I was on the phone with Skeins and I was higher than a kite yesterday, I must have eaten a lot of chocolate because I'm like, what the hell? I thought G found it, but I didn't dare ask him in case he hadn't found it. And so, because I don't want him looking for it, I must have eaten almost half a bag. And we're talking the Sam's Club big bag.
Oh, wow.
So, girl, I should not, nobody should ever give me an opioid ever. Like, this is a bad thing. So sleeping or eating, that's all that's happening. So
yeah.
But yeah. No, Tamara says hers is pretty good. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and her mama said I was trying to get her drunk. And it was but it was her recipe, her mama's recipe.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
That
Yeah.
is. Whoops. What else did I click on? Yeah, I was eating it as I go.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I'm making any kind of something sweet.
Yeah. I mean, except for you can't like, so if I'm baking and doing that kind of thing, so especially cinnamon rolls and that kind of thing, the only thing I'll taste test if, and Skeins knows, she's in my kitchen, her and Jonathan, if there's one that came out too short, or so it may be an end piece or something like that. Those are free game. And so that's what G likes. And he's like, got any extra in there? And I'm like, yeah, it's either yes or no. So I got the roll right, I got it cut right, or I didn't. And so it's anybody's guess. No, Skeins, I wasn't high on chocolate. I know I was high for, I don't even remember talking to Starlay yesterday. Apparently we had a great conversation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just have no idea. I'm like, huh? She's like, you really don't remember? And I'm like, no. No, I don't. So, but yeah. Oh gosh, here's Rabbit. Double shots of tequila for the ladies tonight. All right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but dang, yeah, no, I don't know. So I'll try anybody's food once, but yeah, don't get offended if I never try your food again. But it's kind of hard. I grew up with a chef, right? So it's difficult. Like, how do you do that? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm either impressed or I'm disappointed. There's no in between. And so, and now I've spoiled G the same way. And so, like, we'll go to some Mexican restaurants and we'll come out. And he's like, I'm never eating there again. And I'm like, oh, crap. Because I know exactly what that means. He's never going to eat there again. And he's not going to want to go try anything else. I got to give him a year or two to forget before he'll take me out to dinner to different Mexican food and figure out if it works. So that means I got 1 to 2 years where I'm always making the Mexican food. But which is a good compliment, I take it as a compliment. But
Yeah.
and then I put my English muffin recipe out, and so I put it on our
I saw that.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, because you are in that Discord, right? And so I put that out, and now people are trying it and that kind of thing. It's I love the kudos, and I love seeing everybody using anything that we come up with, and especially making it theirs. So when that particular couple made it, they made it gluten-free, and I thought that was absolutely fabulous. Great idea. And
Yep.
so,
No, I wrote it down in my cookbook that I'm writing.
did you?
I'm just making, I just got a book and I just put any recipes that really interest me. I've been writing them down that I've seen. So, and I ordered, when I do a live on Friday, I go on a live Friday nights at the same time as Tag and Bees with Little Mountain Ranch, Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch out in BC. And I just received her cookbook, and hers is just old fashioned cooking. And it's just, and then she's got all of her preserves and all the different, her sweets and everything she does. And so I'm just collecting because I lost all mine in the house fire. So that's why I've been just collecting. And that's every time I see something really interesting, I write it down.
So
and try
remember us talking, and Garen got me a couple cookbooks, but they're 17th century cookbooks. And so I almost wonder, from the dialect and that kind of thing, I would almost be interested to sit down with both of you and go over this cookbook and see if we couldn't figure out and translate some of these words and what measurement meanings and all of that. Because it's not like today. It's not a pinch, an inch, and that kind of thing. It's not a half a cup, quarter cup, that kind of thing. It's completely different. And then it's not lamb. It's called something else. It's not, I mean, it's weird and extremely difficult. It's from Townsend and Son. And they replicate and live in a cabin and do all of that. So you kind of look and see what the pioneer living was actually about when they came over to America and Canada. And so I'm almost wondering, possibly, is she up in Canada? I guess I should ask that. Is she up in Canada?
Who's that?
On Friday night, who you're with? The Mountain...
Little Mountain Ranch, yeah. She's in BC, British Columbia.
Well,
and actually, she can translate a lot of that stuff. If you watch some of her videos, she's taken some of the she has done some of the recipes. A lady from Southern Ontario sent her a whole bunch of cookbooks from the early 1900s. I'm
Well, I
not
could
sure
do
if there's
that.
one that came.
I can translate
And
1900. It's the 1700s I'm having an issue with. And so,
yeah,
you know, I mean, we're
she
talking
actually tried some of the
colonial.
recipes.
Uh-huh.
He tried some of the recipes from the early like the First World War and stuff. She tried some of the recipes,
Yeah,
and they
Lucy,
looked amazing on there.
I can do that. I want somebody to help me translate clear back. It's Old English. I need somebody to help me translate clear
Okay.
back to the 1700s. Do you think you guys can do that? 1700s. We're going colonial days. And so
Okay.
that's, yeah. So I'm kind of thinking maybe with y'all's French and that kind of thing, possibly we could break some of this stuff down, because some of it AI is not coming up with, translators not coming up with it. Like some of it's just completely lost, and I don't want to lose these, because these recipes are literally right off the land. And so if we can translate them, I'd really like to be able to do that.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, and then possibly, you know, and I would, if y'all think you can help me do it, we can do a 3-way split and get a whole new cookbook together and translate all these. So I don't know.
You know what? It doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, talk to her about
it. Doesn't hurt to try.
No, it doesn't. So talk to her about it. See if she's interested. We can always, you know, maybe take I don't know. It'll probably take about 2 hours, 3 hours maybe per recipe. And we can just start breaking these down and do it once a week or whatever time everybody has. And so do you guys just remember that I'm an hour behind you. So 10 o'clock for you is not.
And she's 2 hours. She's 2 hours past. She's 2 hours. You're an hour, and she's 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So so we'll need to keep that in mind. Maybe just kind of, we'll
I'll email her.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll email her.
I'd definitely be interested in doing something like that. I don't think these recipes should be lost. I really think we need to retain them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, and she's been writing me, and I just get so frustrated because like nothing out there knows what this means. It has to be something that somebody knows. And you guys have kept a lot of the Old English, and you've kept a lot of the French and that in there. So I'm guessing and wondering that you all could help me with this. So
I used to have in my bunch of cookbooks I had these two. They looked like novel books, but they were cookbooks from the 30s and the 40s.
Yeah.
And some of the old ways of cooking in there was just unbelievable, and the way they measured and everything back then, because that was during the Great Depression, right? The 30s and the 40s. And but I lost those books, so you know you can never bring them back.
Yeah, a lot of that was by the palm, right? And so you know, if you can fit it this way, and I've tried to teach that. G wants me to try to, I don't know if I could draw it out, but he wants me to try to replicate it as like a side note in the cookbook. And so if you can fit it in the palm of your hand and your fingers, that's 1 cup. And then you just go down a little bit, there's half a cup. And then, you know, then you start getting into teaspoons, tablespoons, and that kind of thing.
That's tablespoons
in the palm of your hand. And so
he does
then
that.
A pinch, an inch, that kind of thing. And so there's a way to do that.
She does that when she's doing some of her videos and stuff, because she does a video at least once or twice a week, and it's all like, if it's not in her garden, if it's when she's in the house, she sometimes she forgets that she'll even say it on her video that, oh, she's like, forget, she says, I got him, and then she's like that, she's measuring out, and she doesn't say 1 spoonful, like, you know, a teaspoon, tablespoon, or whatever. He doesn't take the actual spoon and do it. She'll do it with her hand, because she knows she's been doing it for 30 years or so more, right?
Well, that's even how I know the size of my palm. That's 4 ounces. And so, you know, so when you start getting down to grams and measuring that kind of thing, you know, grams, ounces, pounds, that kind of stuff, your hands, your body parts, and it is an estimate. It's not going to be accurate, but it's pretty damn close. And so I've done it and weighed it out. It's pretty darn close. I mean, you're only talking 0.1 ounce off, if even. And so, you know, but yeah. So yeah, that works out well. What do we got going on here? Who are you growling at? Oh, Freya's put her head on the broom, and Dolly doesn't want her so close to me. Or she wants the broom. I have no idea. So they're growling. Who's growling now?
And with some of her recipes are her her grandmother's recipes, her nana's recipes, and there's little sayings beside each of the recipes, things that her nana would say, different on how when you're making the recipes. Her nana always had a comment about it, and it said for Nana's notes are for chewy cookies. Baking at a higher temperature and reducing baking time will create a crispy cookie on the outside and a chewy cookie on the inside.
Yeah, yeah. Those are so like my Nana's recipes. Y'all don't want me to be replicating my Nana's recipes unless you own multiple freeze dryers or have 500 people that you need to feed. So she
used to cooking for a big crowd.
So
she
led the cafeteria.
She has a family of 10.
She was in charge. So my Nana was actually in charge of Los Angeles school district of nutrition in the cafeteria. So all of the recipes that I have and my cousin Tim have, all of those will feed 500 to 1,500 people.
Oh wow!
And so, yeah, the more you go up, so this is interesting and something else too. The more you go up to more people that you're feeding, right? So you're not necessarily doubling, quadrupling, that kind of thing in a recipe by how many people you're feeding, because it makes a difference. And so there's a little less liquid. Sometimes there's a little more liquid. Sometimes there's less flour. Sometimes there's more flour. And so you really got to know how to do that. So all these people that think, we go off grid, you're supporting the community and doing all that. Oh, hell, I'll still be a picky eater then. I'll probably only still then eat my own food. I want it to taste good. So
you know what I'll do, Yoda? You know what I'll do is I have a library here, a small library here in our town. I used to work at the library when I was a kid and teenager. But I'm going to go and look, and they still they do everything on computer and stuff, but they still have the old fashioned card catalog where you go through the cards and you can find the old books and everything. And they still have a lot of the old history books. So I'm going to look, I'm going to take a jot there, I'll go find out what days they're open and everything. So I haven't been there for a while. And I'll look into some of that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Skeins. Yeah.
And that might help us.
Yeah. Skeins asked, she said these were scratch recipes, menus, etc. No menu unless I missed something else. Oh, she found a cookbook. Maybe that's what she meant. No, all of Nana's were from scratch. And so you just had to figure out how to multiply and get everything down, because they weren't doing like they do now with the number 10 cans and that kind of crap. Here's how much you need, crap, chemical crap. Everything was from scratch. So it worked out pretty good. Little Miss Prepper, you look like you're getting ready to fall over, and it is 8:32.
Yeah, so, and of course it's
another person that I'll ask. Alice, my sister-in-law Alice, that's turning 90. Because her parents, my husband's parents were born in 1904 and 1913, and I'm going to find out if the sisters that are still alive, if they have any of the cookbooks or anything from back then.
Yeah.
And they might have some from their grandparents that were from the 1800s and so forth. So I'll look into it for you.
Teepaw sent me a bunch of recipes, South Carolina. She sent me a bunch, and then actually sent me old books that she had found. And one of them, the one cookbook, man, I totally wish there wasn't a copyright on it, because I would just literally photograph it and then just throw it out everywhere. It takes you through processing the lamb, like how to skin it. And then it tells you, how to put it down, how to skin it, how to butcher it, how to get those right cuts of meats. And then it gives you an entire back section of how to cook it, different recipes, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
And it's a cool cookbook. But I don't know. I know it's going to be a lot of research. I already tried to get copyrights on another cookbook to replicate. It was impossible because so many of them have closed down now. And this one has a copyright as well. So I got to see if any of those are still in illustration, or those companies still have that copyright, because they do expire. And so I just got to figure out that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And if it's expired, if I can replicate it, I probably will, but it's going to be at verbatim of what they did. And it's excellent. I mean, it just, anybody can understand it. And so, but it is old school. So, hey guys, 8:34 here. That means it's 9:34 your time. And I'm going to say this. It was great being with y'all. Thank you for all of your prayers from everybody in this feed, all the way to the video. Those that are replaying and that kind of thing, or catching us after. Thank you so much. Man, it's huge. The relief I feel is just absolutely amazing. So here's what I'm going to say. So even though you may be injured, you may have a handicap here or there, that kind of thing, figure out a way to be at least 1% better tomorrow than you were today. Yeah?
Yeah.
And keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes and your ears open, and go live a life done free.
Yeah.
And we'll see everybody on Monday. Let's play WROL. And Tambra, hopefully we'll see you on the panel. Or
Tambra, we don't have to see you. We just need to hear you. And we need to hear you live.
Yes, Tambra.
Yep. All right. So everybody have
Bye, guys.
good evening, and we'll see y'all Monday.
Love y'all. Bye.
Love y'all.